That's what the episode was. Yeah.
So how's everything been going for you?
Man, everything's been great, bro. Another week.
Another week, another dollar.
Another week, another dollar.
Got the homeboy Lawless with us again.
Yeah.
Yo,
Lawless is back.
Yo.
Yeah. We got new flavors coming in. We still gonna hold down those original strains.
Yeah.
And everything like that.
Yeah.
All right.
You already know, man.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off, man.
Let's go.
Shout out to Soblowed Apparel.
Soblowed, Professional Black Stoner, and Protocol Vaping Co. We want to thank
First mobile
vape shop.
Amen.
Yeah. I want to thank them for being sponsors, day one sponsors, and steady rocking with us. So, yeah. I'm Hyman.
Oh, I'm Protocol.
This is 14 Grams, and we have our good friend Lawless with us.
Hello.
So, Pro, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm, the strain of the day is something near and dear to me.
And what is this?
This is Granddaddy Purple. Stock symbol GDP.
I'm not going to. I think we've done GDP before.
Yeah, we did.
We're going a little bit deeper with
We
GDP.
We did. Whose parents are Purple Urkel
Did I do that?
and Big Bud.
Big Bud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carl Winslow.
That's good.
If
Rest in peace, Uncle Carl.
if you've been with us, if you've been rocking with us since last year,
Since last season.
you remember that Granddaddy Perp was the strain on episode 3.
Right, that was around Prairie View Homecoming time because I made sure that we did a purple strain.
Right.
Treasure Island.
This probably be the first and only time that we duplicate a strain, but want to encourage you to listen to those other episodes if you missed them.
We're doing this to see who's paying attention. What is this, velvet?
Now, I like Granddaddy Perp because it gets you high as fuck and you're laughing and you feel good and it tastes great.
Sativa, right?
It's indica.
Indica.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. That Purple Urkel gives it that grape and berry flavor, and that the Big Bud just kind of makes it, gives it that fullness.
Boom. And also gives it, I'm thinking Big Bud is more dense nugs.
It is dense nugs. It gives you that psychoactive where you just you're physically relaxed,
THC.
but you have a cerebral euphoria going on.
That's what indica.
Yep.
Okay.
Indica's going to put you on that couch.
Yeah,
Indica is that couch loud.
to sativas. Y'all already know that. But,
So you want to stay up.
but I like
While you high.
Granddaddy Purp.
But Granddaddy Perp is good.
That piece of it.
Right.
That sativa.
It's good for muscle spasms, and it's that euphoric effect that it releases is what really gets it over. And it tastes good.
Okay. Well, our cannabis word of the day is trichomes. Trichomes. Can you please use it in a sentence? When I was looking at the bud, it was full of trichomes.
The trichomes on the bud looks like diamonds dancing.
Yeah,
So-
under the light.
You keep smoking those blunts, but why don't you try cones?
Good one. I like to roll. But no, so the trichomes are small hairs on the outer growth of the epidermis of the plant, pretty much around the bud, typically glandular. And in cannabis, trichomes serve as a deterrent for animals because their bitter taste and strong aromas make cannabis flowers unpalatable to them. But to us, we love them. They also protect the plant from damaging winds, UV rays, and even some varieties of fungal growth.
Wow, so you mean that stuff that looks like crystals that makes the plant look pretty actually protects the plant?
Yes.
Does it get me higher?
Yeah, you do want higher amounts of trichomes on your cannabis.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
White rhino, that's why it looks so great, and that's why it fucking hits.
Yeah, you want those.
That'll probably be the strain of the day on the next show.
You really do want those dusty type of.
Just thinking about smoking right now.
That's what we think about all the time on this show.
That's good.
It's 14. Oh, by the way, we hope y'all went ahead and called y'all weed, man.
Yeah.
And got that sack. 14 grams, hopefully, but in case you didn't, hey, we know times is tough and it's high to get high.
Yeah, speaking on what we spoke on last episode with the trimmings, I think I figured out something to remain economic.
What?
So
Smoke the leaves?
Well, we talked about the trimmings.
Right.
Trimmings are going to be, you might not come by them as often, but they're going to be definitely a lot less expensive.
You really have to know somebody who's plugged in to some growers or something to get that.
Okay.
Gotcha. Right. So I was thinking, you could get, you can get some good, but instead of rolling up the whole thing, you could actually get some trimmings and then put the good in the middle, and you still catch the flavor, but still get the fullness.
I like that weed economics.
So can you break these trimmings down for me?
Man,
what describe it?
They look like
the leaf.
It looks like a more dried version of the bud. It's not as bright lime green. It's a little bit darker. Mm-hmm. It almost, if you're not careful, you might
think it's some
Reggie.
Okay.
I was looking at it like, damn, this shit is not Reggie, but it looks like Reggie, but it does not smoke like Reggie.
Mm-hmm. I've had mine just kind of curled up. I mean, it kind of looked like leaves with trim. That's when I've had them.
And what I got was and I liked it because I didn't have to break down shit. I just
it's kind of like
it's like chewing tobacco.
It's like dust.
It's like getting that big chew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That big chewing tobacco.
Yeah, that's a better.
Pull it out, put it a little bit in your the corner of your mouth, and then you roll the rest of it up. Yeah, that good tobacco or that good bubble gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well, moving into the news with Walter Cronick.
14 grams, you're just gonna get the raw. You're gonna get the raw. That's how not papers. 14 grams.
So a Virginia Republican congressman filed a bill to end the federal marijuana prohibition. This comes from Marijuana Industry News. And so on May 15th, Congressman Tom Garrett, shout out to you, sir. You're unlike the rest of your Republican partners or whatnot.
I like that.
Wow.
Announced that he is going to hold a press conference outside the U.S. Capitol to discuss H.R. 1227, which would end the Federal Marijuana Prohibition Act of 2017. If approved, this would go ahead and pretty much decriminalize marijuana federally and move it to that different move it to a different schedule. Now, this is the reason why. Very interestingly, I don't usually think of most Republicans as far as reaching out or caring about constituents that aren't rich or white or a combination of the both of them.
Gotcha.
But this is what happened. He said, I have long believed justice that isn't blind isn't justice. Statistics indicate that minor narcotics crimes disproportionately hurt areas of lower socioeconomic status. And what I find most troubling is that we continue to keep laws on the books that we do not enforce. Virginia is more than capable of handling its own marijuana policy, as are states such as Colorado or California. So Garrett went ahead and introduced that first act back in February. So I'm very happy about him. So I want to give a shout out to Congressman Garrett from Virginia for taking that step. Especially as a Republican. Yeah, you're the distinguished gentleman, sir. The chair recognizes the distinguished gentleman from Virginia. You may speak.
Absolutely.
Stop locking people up for stupid shit was the translation there.
Yeah.
He's making a way for that.
Now, on the other hand, I do have a problem with, while we're talking about Congress and things of that nature, the Assistant Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, went before a House committee that he had to give a testimony to the other day, or last week, about and so he was asked by a Republican Congresswoman from Alaska about their focus on marijuana in general, especially with states who have gone ahead and legalized and provided it as a medicine. Mr. Rosenstein trying to speak like an expert, much the same way as Roger Goodell said, there is no science to prove that marijuana is helpful and that it's actually in the right place. It's on Schedule 1 drug.
NFL commissioner.
Right. So we already have that hashtag out there. Fuck Roger Goodell, hashtag fuck Roger Goodell. And so that's really going to pick up before the football season. We're going to really be pushing that. But so fuck Rod Rosenstein too. Hopefully them boys don't come out to my door, but this is free speech, so it is what it is.
Their names both start with R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to
the dicks
and a Rolls
the
Royce.
railroad dicks trying to mess over marijuana. Yeah, but
Got a question.
So legal marijuana sales could be worth $17 billion by 2021. This is coming to us from Mary Jane.
Run that again. What?
Legal marijuana sales.
Legal marijuana sales
could be
could be
worth 17 billion.
17
Yeah, billion with
and
a
just
B.
the sales.
Yeah.
Wow.
By 2021. And that's not even talking about the industries that are going to be on the side, the side industries. So the American cannabis industry is booming, with Nevada set to start recreational sales in a couple of weeks. California starting as well at the beginning of 2018, and Massachusetts following closely behind. The trend might be saying that by 2021, we're looking at 17 billion in sales. In 2017 alone, sales were up 35%.
That's pretty interesting, and that kind of cuts back to why we should move in that direction. I'm not just pushing legalization, but we are.
Yeah, I am.
I'm just sitting over here baffled because I attend the smoke shops from time to time to
Right.
purchase items. And you'll notice on the counters, there's different items, right? And so they're so worried about marijuana, but what about these byproducts that no one's testing? They're just putting out to the mass public, and people taking it and thinking it's going to have effects, and it's fucking them up in other ways.
And these byproducts are supported by pharmaceutical companies.
Right, Syndros. Fuck Syndros.
Right, there, we a couple episodes ago, we kind of touched in on that, how these companies are actually funding millions to lobby against weed and legalizing it just so they can sell that spice and crap at your smoke shop.
So that you can be sick.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
And go to the doctor to get a
I've-
prescription filled to
get more drugs.
stay in a cycle.
Meanwhile, weed is legal, is booming in sales, right? Projected to the billions, right? I heard a stat not the other day said we can get about 8.7 billion in just state and federal
I
taxes.
believe it. I mean,
So-
and look at the amount of jobs.
Would healthcare be an issue then?
Healthcare would not be an issue.
What else? What else are we struggling with, guys?
Education wouldn't be an
Education.
Wouldn't.
Okay, we can pay for people's college.
Infrastructure,
Yeah,
roads.
college, infrastructure.
Roads.
We could also look at
Feeding the poor.
dropping the amount of people that are inside of the prison industrial complex. Looking at those black and brown people primarily. Damn, look at what legalization would do.
Can we go down that list again? Starting with the last one.
Cutting down on the amount of black and brown people that are in jail with the mass incarceration.
Right.
Prison industrial complex. Then we also be able to help out with education.
Right.
Higher education, as well as K through 12. Healthcare to be taken care of. Infrastructure for roads.
Roads.
A lot of the ailments that
More parks,
America has,
beautification.
man, a lot of the problems that America has could be solved
Make
by
America
legalization. Weed would make America great. Actually, I saw somebody on Twitter, they said, make America dank again. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Make America dank
There was
again.
a
That's
time.
what we're looking for.
Yeah, there was a time.
That was good, man. It's funny that study after study has found that marijuana is less harmful than alcohol and tobacco.
Way less harmful.
I mean, it's like, how many studies do we have to continue to have? How long is it going to go on and on and on and on?
Well, according to Rod Rosenstein, there is no science to disprove that marijuana actually is helpful and that it can be of some help and benefit to people.
There's no evidence to prove.
Not to him, and he's the assistant attorney general.
He's the assistant.
Yeah. Now, let's not talk about the evil Keebler F. He doesn't believe that marijuana is helpful at all. You know, he's gone back and asked Congress to free them up, the DOJ, to actually go ahead and pursue.
Department of Justice. It's funny that they use compounds in marijuana to fight cancer, and they use these marijuana compounds and put them into these drugs and mix them with these chemicals. Right. But they just won't use the pure thing.
The actual plant.
But I believe that there's healers out there.
Yeah.
You guys heard about the guy who was a doctor who healed people from all over the world?
Dr. Sabi.
Sabi, yeah. That was Left Eye's
A whole
doctor.
episode on that one.
I actually got a chance to hear Dr. Sabi speak here in Houston about 15 years ago. So.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was at
bro.
Shape Community Center.
And I was hearing about a trial that he was being, I guess, sued, or they were trying to prosecute him for something, for making false claims. And he had people fly in from all over the world
To say that
he healed my cancer. He healed.
That his meth is actually did help.
Yeah.
Did I hear AIDS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His main
all
tenet,
ailments.
Everything.
His main tenet was that there's only one disease for humans, and that's mucus. And if you can rid the body of mucus, then you will rid yourself of diseases.
Yep.
But that's accomplished by a particular diet and smoking a lot of cannabis. Well, maybe not on the smoking a lot of cannabis, but definitely on a particular diet.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, think about that. Take that.
There's something to rest on.
Yeah.
Bad boy, baby.
Yeah, man.
9-7.
So,
017, bitch.
popcorn.
We're talking about the bud.
Yeah.
Come from North Texas, come from Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not from the
It's a
region.
damn shame that I know that, don't I? Ain't it?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You know, if you're from Texas, you probably know that Dallas is known for popcorn.
Man, you give me some corn any day, I'm happy.
I like corn.
I'll take corn over some dro.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I mean, yeah. Reason being, it's a good batch of corn.
Yeah, good bet.
You have to have a good.
Yeah, you got to get a good batch because everybody don't have corn. Like somebody will lie to you and tell you, it's like, bro, my partner down the street, he got some corn.
Now, before we go any further, let's now, and Hyman, you're the perfect person to break this down. What exactly? Where does? Because I wanted this myself. Because corn is a great smoke. I've always thought of it as mid.
Right.
Where does it fall on the level of strain and cannabis and potency? And because I'm sure everybody's like, or people who are listening who don't know what popcorn is like, what are they talking about?
So, popcorn is more or less a strain that was that was developed here in Texas. Comes from Dallas, and you used to only be able to get it during certain times of the year, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I know it was randomly and sporadic when I could get some. It wasn't always available. But it's a mid-grade, so it's probably a cross between some type of Reggie and then a parent with better genetics, or is selective breeding of some Reggie that kept showing good genes to where this has become the final product, that it kept getting stronger. So, yeah, I mean,
I wonder what the history is. Like, how did it get the name?
So I'm glad. I don't know how that happens. We'd have to talk to somebody from Dallas.
Please.
I don't know about that. But it's funny that you say that because I was reading something today from Mass Roots that was pretty much saying that the original cannabis plant is probably not even in existence anymore. Because as humans evolved, so did cannabis.
Yeah.
And so it's been a co-evolution. So the first plant might have just been out in the field and somebody tried it. It's like, damn, this shit nice. You know, let me go ahead and start harvesting it and cultivating it. And they were saying pretty much that around the same time as we began to practice traditional agriculture and farming, that's around the same time that cannabis quite possibly really began following humans. The fact that we have cannabinoid receptors inside of our bodies naturally, it says a lot. So as humans evolved, or as cannabis evolved, humans evolved, and vice versa. And I think cannabis is going to push us to another level. The herb is for the healing of the nations.
That's really interesting, man.
I was just thinking, what if I could smoke that first strain?
You would not get high.
I would
love to. I would love to just to say I did it. Just to say I did. Like, I want to go try some different. Yeah, way better.
Actually, you can smoke it in public venues without
anybody saying anything to you because they would not know.
Right, they're like, it smells funny, but it's not weed.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that is. Somebody's burning some cornbread.
Bad thing is, it's no longer in existence.
Yeah.
We can't even find those seeds.
Yeah, the Native Americans were probably born on some super wheat.
Man. I mean, you got to look at it. At that point in time, in the past 30 years, marijuana potency has just increased exponentially.
They've kind of
exponentially.
You know, not
what
they've kind of made it do that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's through selective. That's through selective breeding process.
Right.
We as humans were looking for a strain or strains with higher levels of THC.
Yeah.
So it's only right that the cannabis get better. Now, if you do want to find some weak weed, if you do want to find some weak marijuana, you can go to the, I think it's at Michigan State or Ole Miss. It's at Ole Miss. It's the laboratory, the one place in the world that the U.S. government actually grows marijuana. They grow it there, but all of their weed is like testing around 10 to 12% THC, Meanwhile, out on the market, we're hitting 20, 25%, up to some 30%.
High.
It's not at all. But that's when they got their seeds. They still believe, oh, this is what it is. Nah, bitch, it's way stronger. So actually, right before Obama was leaving, they opened it up to where private entities could start doing more research on cannabis and on marijuana to be able to help move the scientific debate forward. So Congress did that. That was one of the few good things that those bums did.
Congress is we're making a lot of progress legally speaking. You know, they have the first cannabis caucus.
Really?
Yeah, it's Representative Polis he's actually running for governor of Colorado.
He'll win. He'll win.
He's throwing his hat in the ring. Yeah, he has a lot of, got a lot of things working in his favor. He's always been a proponent. He's actually, I think, one of the first openly gay congressmen, parents, something like that. So he's definitely hitting it from a lot of angles, but he's been a huge supporter, and he's
no pun intended. No homo.
It's huge.
Just 14 grams.
I mean, his hands are like, yeah. As long as he's bigger than Donald Trump, that's all that matters. As long as his hands are bigger than Donald Trump.
How much longer is Donald Trump going to be in office?
We don't know.
What have I done all of this at my job right now?
We don't know. Oh, you'd be gone. Oh, I know I'd be gone.
I can't even do that in this room.
I'd be gone. You can't grab a woman by the pussy in this room.
No.
Because, hey, it's her. No, that's not cool at all.
Yeah.
What else did he do? You can't just continue to lie to people.
I was about to say, it's a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
Why is he getting this big-ass pass? That's the good old boy pass.
Oh,
it's not even a good old boy pass. I think that he doesn't know better. And
people
fortunately,
don't expect more.
Yeah.
They don't expect more.
And they don't. And the people who are around him, I think they're really
covering.
Did y'all see that video?
Downfall.
Did y'all see
The
the
little
video?
girl.
No, not the little girl.
Oh.
There's a video, Trump's first cabinet meeting, where they are just literally kissing his ass. They're like literally just. It was like a script, like a commercial, like got Yes Men. It was like,
yes.
I'd like to thank you for helping us move forward your agenda and blah blah, and thank you for allowing us to hate on weed and just.
Thank you for allowing us to hate on weed.
That's good.
Thank you for allowing us to ruin the country and the world. Yeah. This is going to be interesting.
But there's hope because there's 14 grams.
Yeah, no, we're not going to save the world. We're just going to save some weed and smoke it while the world goes down.
And that will save the world.
No, it'll save us. Yeah. It will save us.
We need to get information from you guys in coming weeks about the best strain to deal with Donald Trump's antics.
Anything you have laying around.
Might I suggest some crack?
Heavy indicas. Something that's going to put you out. You don't want to think about this.
You're going to need a needle and a belt.
No. We're trying to cut down on the opiate abuse.
Oh, and guess what? Cannabis does that.
Yeah, cannabis does help.
Research
cut down on the
shows.
cannabis.
Research shows. So
abuse.
if you look, for everyone who's been dealing with this Trump era, we understand that you may have had some cognitive, emotional, and behavioral responses.
I have.
That have led you to drug
It's only been
abuse.
6 months.
It feels like 20 years.
Man.
Only been 6 months?
Only been 6 months.
Damn.
Only been 6 months.
You know, they say time flies when you're having fun. But when it's dragging.
Hey, how much better can this next 6 months be? I'm waking up every day to laugh. Every day I find something new to laugh at about this administration.
I just, I've never cared enough about politics to care. But and some of that is, a lot of that is ignorance. But
it's funny.
Trump kind of concerns me.
Like, he's worse. Okay, so if you remember the episode of Chappelle's Show with Black Bush, and he was trying to justify why we went to Iraq. Like, we're going to talk about oil. Nigga, run, I swear, this is the same exact situation, but it's going to wind up way worse. Because it was a leak, allegedly, that Robert Mueller, special prosecutor, is now about to start looking at charges for obstruction of justice.
Pop goes the weasel.
Because the weasel go pop. Now, the bad thing is we do have Mike Pence up next.
I was thinking that.
Impeachment is a process.
It's a process,
Impeachment is not the removal of the president. Impeachment is the process.
Right.
People get it confused.
Right.
So,
Fortunately,
means nothing.
but fact remains the same. If he does get impeached and they do pursue criminal charges, the person who's going to take his place.
The criminal
Pence is
part
just
is
as bad.
yeah.
Pence is horrible.
Speaking legislatively.
Where is he lately?
Mike Pence, somewhere out cleaning up after Donald Trump shit.
Laying low.
Yeah.
Hashtag where's Mike
You
Pence?
better
Preparing
lay
his
low.
speech.
Oh.
I want to thank Donald Trump for his leadership for the past 3 months. But unfortunately, he's been brought up on charges. And it's time for America to move
That
forward.
sounds so motivating, just hearing this.
I was kind of quiet.
On Galloway, a white man is speaking. So,
Damn.
I watch a lot of Chappelle show.
It's
Yeah.
Race war. I mean, race draft.
Right.
That was fucking hilarious. But yeah, I mean, you get Mike Pence in, and oh my gosh. Although he was governor of the state that did have the first church of cannabis. So,
Church of Cannabis.
yeah, in Indianapolis, Indiana. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Like way back. One of the first
So
episodes.
I wonder if people just like stop by the Church of Cannabis just to get some free tokes.
I mean, they're always on a higher level when talking to a higher power.
You can't. I mean, you can't deny it. You can't deny me, right?
Deny
This is church. You gotta pass it. Do they keep it lit? The burning bush.
They have some type of incense probably going.
No incense.
Innocent.
This is the church
Okay,
of.
so the way in which I'm looking at incense.
I got
so
you.
when you look at
I understand what you're saying with
It's a
incense,
religious-
as well.
yeah.
Right. Unlock some spiritual.
well, no, not just that, but it's
Halloween.
actually believed that cannabis was one of the herbs that was used as an incense by the Hebrews.
Now that is interesting.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So that's why I say some type of incense. So a mix of some different types of herbs.
Wow. And you didn't catch that unless you made it to this part.
14 grams, bitches.
Wow.
Stay tuned.
Cannabis is possibly.
The greatest plant ever
God,
established. It makes me happy. Provides us with clothing, good, strong building material, and helps alleviate all different types of pains from me.
And could also alleviate social ills like
Man, hatred, racism.
lack of health care, lack of educational funding, taking
Yeah.
care of our homeless, taking care of our veterans, taking care of our elderly.
It's a great funder. It's a great source of funding.
Man, heals the body, heals society.
I'm just in deep thought about it.
I'm glad. I mean, hey, that's what we try to provoke on this show.
Yeah.
So, want to go ahead and thank our sponsors.
Yeah.
14. No, we are 14 grams. Want to thank our sponsors, the Professional Black Stoner, Protocol Vaping Co., and So Blowed Apparel. Also, you can find us now on Tumblr. You can find us on Tumblr at XIV Grams. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at XIV Grams. And what else?
Lawless, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Drop theme music.
With that being said, we want to thank y'all. Go ahead, roll something else up.
Yeah.
Because I know you ain't done yet.
Yeah.
Because I ain't done.
Yeah.